What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey, Shakira. So, it's Thursday, and I want to I want to continue testing out the Silver Bullet, and I'm gonna be looking to adjust my stop loss strategy because that's messing me up completely. Like, it's too tight, and I keep getting stopped out, even when my bias is correct, and that's frustrating. So let's do some testing. But first, let me show you what happened yesterday, and then let's do some testing. Kitty is eating. He might come over, so there might be a moment where I pause to wipe his poopy butt, then pause before he sits on my lap. All right, that sounds like a good time. Let's get tiny. All right, so let's see what we've been dealing with here. So yesterday morning, because I was off helping my mom, I tried to take a long from down here because I was saying it's the 9:30 Juju swing. And so let's come in here. And I was looking at it like this at the time, and I was expecting them to come back um, into what's this? Yeah, this is the Monday, Tuesday opening range gap. So I was expecting them to, you know, come into that and then take off, right? On the 1 minute, it looks closer than the 5 minute. In any case, so 9:30. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong day. I was like, why does that not look right? Okay, over here. So this is 9:30 Judas swing here. So I was expecting them to reprice up in here. What's odd is that the Dixie it's been going down, but it was going up at the same time, and I was like, ugh, that makes me feel unhappy. So I made myself some notes here. So my entry was wrong twice, but bias was right, and to pay closer attention to displacement and fair value gap between 10 and 11, and my stop is too tight. And I was using the 0.5 to take profit for the first leg of it right here. Boom. As you can see, is this what I wanted? So, switch that back to electronic trading hours. Right. I'm gonna hit the replay button so I can be back over in this general vicinity because it's just too annoying to keep going back. Anyway, so we drop down into the daily fair discount fair value gap and this order block. And just for your awareness, my poor demo account is suffering because of that. So my first attempt was my entry was at 4405.5. 4405.5. Well, hold on. Yeah, so they wicked down and took me out. I didn't think they would. They were like respecting the halfway point of this. I thought they were done. So I got taken out. And then when this came around, I was just too slow to enter. Because my second one was at 4403.75. 4403.75. Same scenario. Stop was too tight, and they took me out at 44.1 on this wick here. So it's very, very annoying. What I didn't take into account is the order block that was there that they're wicking down into. So you gotta pay attention. So if I set my order here and dropped it below, that would have below the discount, then that would have been good. So let's look at it in the 1 minute. Yeah. So I'm always a little too early to get in here. So I was looking at this break right here. And not really expecting fair value gap up here, but I wanted an entry down here, which is like super aggressive to start. I should be super aggressive yet, but it is what it is. So I wanted an entry down here. And let me see, what time was this? 10:03 and 10:12, right? So I got stopped out over here and then 10-12 over here before it took off. And I was like, oh, too tight. So my stop should have been um, below the fair value gap, and that would have been okay. That's what I'm learning, right? So like when this one formed at 10 o'clock, when this one formed after this, obviously proper shift formed after all of this meandering about, and we tipped back into the opening range gap. Um, I wanted an entry here, but I kept dithering about where the stop should have been. It should have been down here, right? So stop's supposed to be below kind of like that, and then my entry should have been here. So something like that is what I should have been okay with sitting through, and then I would have been fine taking my I would have gotten my exit right there at the take profit, which is about zero point 0.5. After it broke this high right here, so I just started the aiming. Whoops, sometimes I grab the wrong thing. I started the aiming from here. It broke that high, so I was like, um, is that the one I used? Which high was I looking for them to break? Uh, hold on, it's not the right one. So like sometimes you gotta leave your fib where it's supposed to be. Set it up there. Well, it's not lining up with anything. Hmm, that's weird. What was I thinking? Let's go to the 5 minute. Because that's where I wanted my take profit based off of the fib, the zero point 0.5 of the fib. So, what high? I was doing it on the 1 minute, so I keep doing that. I swear it was that high. 0 0.5 for that's here. The one's here. The 1.5 is up here for that one, so that can't be right. That's definitely not the right one. So what the hell? Hmm, that's weird. Oh, I used that high? I guess, why did I use that high? That doesn't seem right either. Very strange. In any case, that was where I wanted out. Uh, Was I using this? The point 0.5 is still not there. A couple of ticks above it. Mm-mm. Okay, that's weird. I should be able to find the fulcrum point that I was using. Because once it leaves the area, right? So I feel like it should have been this one once it left here. Okay, that's weird. Got it on a 15-minute. Hmm, that's gonna bother me. Because I was very specific in the morning about what I wanted. and where I wanted it to go. And there's only so many places to use as a, keep doing that, to use as a level. Mm, I really should, um, I really should record these when I'm trying to do it. It's hard though because I'm working at that time. All right, so in here is where I was like dithering about, and then right around here, I had a thing open to take the long, and I didn't. So that was frustrating. I keep doing that. Keep doing that. I wanted to dig back up in here. It had to be this low. Like, it just had to be that low to that low. Whatever. Figure that out. Anyway, so that happened. Didn't get the entry and didn't put the entry, and then it ran away, of course. But for the 10 o'clock displacement, it's very obvious. Single one. Stop had to be below the fair value gap. That's literally what I've been missing, trying to be too specific. Ah, sigh. Ooh, let me check my screenshots. Check my screenshots. So I took screenshots. I think the fib was on it still in my journal. So let's go see. Yes, here we are. Copy this over. Oh, copy. What's going on? Why isn't it pasting? Oh, right. I keep running into this issue with trying to copy things over from my journal. Hold on. Let me get a quick snip of it for you. And then copy that. And then that'll come over. It's really annoying. All right. So, it's my screenshot from my journal yesterday this is on the 5 minute. I was screenshotting it. Yeah, so 0.5. Oh, I used the breakout from this to aim once it left this area. Okay, that makes sense. So we can delete that. So for this guy, once it rolled past here, that's an interesting choice for aiming. Hey, I keep doing that. So I use this low, that high to get the 0.5 right there of a range. And of course they went higher. I expected that, but it's the morning. I'm just gonna take as long as over 40 ticks, I'll take it, All right, so let's do a little cleanup here. Looks like they came back down close to that order block again. The discount. Let's move this over. This is the open ring gap from yesterday. Today's Thursday. So I thought they were respecting it. Just pull that over. So this needs to be in here till Friday. Okay, and right, they're still using this. So let's bring that over. This one's Monday, it's Thursday. I'm gonna keep this up. keep my levels going for the moment. And they didn't, let's take a quick gander at, let me take off my notes here. All right, let's do this and let's see where they're going. Let's use the 15 minutes. And they've broken up into, what is this? They finally broke it into the volume imbalance high. Why, yes, they have. Oh, it's a different color. Haha. That blue. No. Oh, it's the trend line I'm trying to. Still not sure. Oh, let's make it red. Why is it not showing up? Oh, yeah, middle. I want it to the right. Oh, it's too far over for me to see. So they're digging into that volume imbalance today. Okay, so actually, let me use this one up because I have the London sessions in here. So they run away from the London session low. They already took out the PM lunch and they just tapped the volume imbalance low. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to continue driving up or is there news? Any news today? It's Thursday the 29th. Okay, so he already talked at 2:30 a.m. Why? Okay, GDP at 8:30. So we're gonna have some fun stuff. Home new sales at 10. And then that's about it. Okay, so we'll be waiting to see what's happening. Right now, they've spiked up into it. And drop that to there. So they spiked all of that. The top of it, oh, they did it at 12 and then dropped, which makes sense, really. I mean, they actually didn't quite touch it, but this is buy side now, as far as I'm concerned, from yesterday's lunch. They've already taken out the PM session highs and the buy side liquidity I'd specified from the previous one, so I'm just gonna note. I'm not gonna bother because it's already up there. Take that off. So that's that. And then, wow, look at that. Beautiful shift. Okay, so let's look at that on the 1 hour really quickly. So, wow, okay, nice. Um, Shifting back up, took out those highs. Let's look at the daily and let's hide some stuff. So, yeah, they're coming up on that volume imbalance. They're starting to dig into it now. So at minimum 44.35 on the daily, and then we have a fair value gap, the rest of the fair value gap above it. And the week's looking pretty green, which has this bigger fair value gap volume imbalance up here. So, all right, for now, low hanging fruit is the daily stuff they're digging into. Now, yesterday was, they took out the high, they just took out the high already. So the question becomes, it looks like they want to dig further in to this. So at most 44, 50, 75 is a good potential. Okay, so let's drop back down and put all that back. So all the things that they're aiming for, I have this daily stuff sorted out. This should be 0.75. Coming into this premium, the volume imbalance is up there. Oh. Okay, so on the 1 hour, they want to do anything. That's the high of this 44.2775, the low open of this 44.2750. So tick volume imbalance in there, it's not that much. This fair value gap on the 1 hour, I'm just gonna note it as of if they want to come back down, they might want to dig into that. But let's specify that as some discount right there. Okay, and we already know what they're digging up into. And we know what high they're going for at minimum. So market open, I'm just curious how many ticks up that is. My general desire is for them to dig further in. So if they're going up to 44.60, all the way up here, it's a good 100 tick. There is a new week opening gap up here to play with. And are you just an extra? Let's Control Z. 0.75. So that was an old one, I think. I might need to fix. I think this is broken up, so I might need to fix this. As we get higher up here, I'll add more stuff as needed and remove others. Okay. So I'm curious to see what 830 does. We reached the top of this thing, so wouldn't be weird for them to retrace and drop back into this. That'd be an okay short. Nah, I'll wait. Anyway, let's get down into some back testing. And I'm going to focus primarily on these 930 Judah swings, just so I understand what they look like. And working through my stop losses, right? It's not the best sort of day right there. All right, so let's backtrack. Let's go close. Oops, how far back did I go? So it's a Friday, right? So let's dig into this Friday and see what's up. So drop down to the 15-minute. It's a bullish day, so coming over here and let's move this way. Okay. All right, so I can't do the regular trading hours switch over, so let's take a look here. June 2nd. That wick makes me feel like it was some kind of news day. Okay, so 8:30 a.m. we had average earnings on that day, so that was 8:30. Yep. So they took out the London low, and the other New York PM session wasn't even a consideration. And okay, so 8:30 shook those guys out. 8:45, 9 o'clock. Okay, let's drop down to a 5-minute. And all right, so what do we have around the general vicinity? We have this. Seriously, why isn't sometimes I click on stuff and it just doesn't. So we have this discount down here, order block. Top. Since it's in here, I'm gonna just delineate the order block somewhere around there because it's a bullish order block and it's the bigger fair value gap. that they can dig back down into. So we're at 9:10. So we're just gonna let 9:15. We're using that as support. 9:25. Whoa. Okay, so then we have a big move on 9:30. And then, okay, so then 9:40. So we've moved up and we've come right back down. All right, so taking this whole thing into consideration. So big move up. If it's a Judas, we should be going down. So let me just make sure I know when we hit 10 o'clock. So we already had a fair, all right, so 10 o'clock, just hit 10 o'clock. Okay, good. And they've come, so they've come into this and, oh, nice. They tap that order block right there. So we just had this shift, 9:30, go up, 10 o'clock. So if, let's cycle down here, and it's bullish, right, in general. It's bullish. So if nothing else, what do we have to work with on the downside? This wick right here. Okay, let's specify consequent encroachment of that. Consequent encroachment. Okay. I also have this wick right here. Right. And so I want to see what they do inside of this order block. So 3. So they've just hit this one, 2, and 1. Okay, I guess we can't go down that low. So 2 minutes is where we're gonna have to work. All right. So we had 9:30 push up. It's been pretty bullish. What day was this? June. It's beginning of June. Probably shouldn't be using this contract for testing anything this far back, but let's test it out. Okay. So going back up on the 5-minute, we roll back up and we just rebalance this BISI, right? So just for funsies, so the high of that, where would be our equal or balanced price range area if we're coming back down is my question, right? So I haven't even thought about what's up top here. So it'd be here, right? So let's just see how they behave in this general vicinity. And okay, let's just note that as a balanced price range. Let's just change the color. All right, so let's drop down to a 2-minute. So what do we do? So 9:30 came, 10 o'clock. We swept the lows here, but came back into a bullish order block. So that's been swept. There's an order block here. It's equilibrium. So let's assume if the Judas swing is correct, and we have this fair value gap, that we do something like this. And I want 40 takes at minimum. So we're going here, but 40 takes minimum. And we've got this order block. It's after 10 o'clock. We just let that run up. Okay, so we're at equilibrium on the 2 minutes. So for the next candle, it's being rejected by this order block. Where is 40 ticks? Just a regular 40 ticks. It's right there. Okay. So I'm thinking Judah swing, fair value gap, order block, and there's this bigger one, right? So let's see. All right, so I'm wrong. So it's bullish, so I should have been feeling bullish, right? Okay, so that's why I didn't press the button because I didn't trust it. So what do we have? We have a chained initiated delivery right here. And is it going to create a fair value gap? There's a fair value gap here. So if I follow ICT 10 a.m. silver bullet stuff, right? Then if it comes back down to here, stop loss below here, and aim for my 40 ticks this way. Just gonna keep it simple like so. What do we get? Okay. So it came back down with a vengeance. Judas swing. Fair by a gap. Oh, there's this little guy right here. It didn't pass through. Let's look at the 5 minute. So this is not the best. So let's say we do take the long from here. All right, let's buy. And let's go back to, oops. Let's go back to 2 minutes. So let's buy here, assuming I'm definitely okay, so the Judas swing short was the better play. Or me flatten there would have been out at that point. Remember equilibrium, there's another one here. And I am blind. It's not the first fair value gap that got formed. That was formed here. This one is. But this is still feeling like a short. Judas swing, short. Okay. So hold on. So if I'm taking the entry from the order block, it needs to be below the order block. Like so. And then 40 ticks from there would have been perfect. Okay, let's take a look at that. All right, so we're bullish, we rolled up, they rebalanced it immediately. Came back to this order block and then ran back up. I was blind and didn't see this fair value gap here with the order block, so I could have just waited for that to come back down. And then I would have had my 40 ticks there, and I'm sure they're probably going to go up even higher at that point to take out this high. And then maybe give us a one standard deviation run. Yeah, which would have been beautiful. Okay, so if were to do some aiming, and so I did this per ICT, and let's move this low to here. So once they broke out of this area here, half a tick for aiming is there. Right, for aiming for things. That would have been more than enough for me at a 0.5 once it broke this high and got out of there. All right, so with this news play rebalance, I need to keep my bullish bent for the block. Okay. All right, so let's head out to a different day. and test that out. Okay, let's get something closer to where I can use the 1 minute. Whoops, I'm already in here. So let's hit the replay button. That's something. Da, 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 da. All right, which day is this? June 12th, a Monday. Okay. Let's drop down to a 15 minute. So I'm just not gonna worry too much about this is lunch. Okay, good. So here, let's roll to there. Okay. All right. So for this scenario, what do we have? We have the PM session low, but the London already took that out. So the AM session is the potential buy side I would be considering. Let's just keep it simple. Buy side, and then since the PM session low hadn't been taken, let's go for that to a sell side. Okay. All right, because London's already been, the high has already been taken, the low's already been taken, and we are here at 9:15. What is in this general vicinity on the 15 minute that we need to be aware of? So there's this fair value gap that they've might be turning into an IO Fed. And there's this 15-minute order block inside of it, bullish OB, and we're looking pretty bullish trending wise for the moment. And so it's 9:15. We've got this fair value gap up here on the 15 minute. And so this is a premium, and this one's discount. We're cutting through candles here, okay? And what have we just done? So we had this very prodigious shift. They came into this order block and then they dropped. Took out this low, but didn't take out that low. So let's see what we're still feeling bullish in this moment. Okay, so drop out to 5 minute. And okay, so this fair value gap right here. So time is it? 9:25. Okay, so 9:30 we have 9:35. So we had a 9:50. So 9:30 we had this Judas swing down, and now we're coming back up. All right, so 9:55. So we're just hitting 10 o'clock right here. So we had a high, shifted, came into this, and then dropped. We took out this low right here. We didn't take that low out. So at 10 o'clock, what are we doing? So let's see. This is the 5 minutes. So I'm going to drop. Can I get down to a 2 minute? Can I get down to a 1 minute? Okay, so the 5 minutes, we're in this growth space right here. So I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. Okay. And we took out this where we're, looking like we're coming to drop. Okay. Actually, this 15-minute order block is deeper, right? So let me grab a copy of that. So we're not closing any candles below this order block. Just wicking. Okay, so can I get to 1 minute on this? Okay. So so what have we got? We had a shift here. What is this? 9:36. Shift here, and they're still inside of this base order block. right here. So I'm still bullish on that. So if I were to do something like this, since we've already tapped the top of this order block, let's have our stop below it like that, and then let's aim for 40 ticks this way. So maybe if we come back down one more time, let's buy right there, and let's see. Oof. All right, so we're still inside of the order block. Okay. So we have the shift order block. I don't like it, but see if this holds it up. Okay. The behavior is very annoying. Let's watch this on the 5 minutes. So we're in this stupid um, miasma of grossness. And then I would have been stopped out right there. So I was probably, wait, did I get stopped? Would I have been stopped out? I had 9 ticks. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. Oh God, no. Like, saved by a tick. But that, I don't like the way that looked. So I would still have been in. Barely saved by a tick. This behavior though. It's very gross choppiness. So we're back here. This fair value gap is holding it down. We need to get past it if we're going to do anything. We're stuck at the midpoint of it. Now look at that. Isn't that crazy? Like barely a tick to save me from this ridiculousness. Okay. So we're almost to my take profit. So that means my right here. My stop would have to be moved to like break even. So my stop loss would be here, like a tick or so in. And then I would be expecting this fair value gap to act as, well, technically, since this is, oh, what time is it? It's 11:30. Ew. Yeah. This choppy mess of grossness. I have to hold things up. It's the lunchtime. You might run for stuff, something. Okay. And I would get my 40 ticks right there. And I'll just flatten right there. But look how close. Like if I hadn't made sure that I was below the, I think this is on 1 minute too. Look at how mean that was. I was using this guy, and I wanted to be a couple ticks below him. This is the low of this candle is 43.51.25, and my stop was 43.51.20. Wait, okay, so I would have been stopped out. Hold on, 43.51.20. Okay, I would have been stopped out right there. Yeah, I would have been stopped out. Now the question is, what were they? Oh, they were taking this low out. Oh, you a-holes. Look at that. So I didn't realize this thing was down here. But they were wicking into this fair value gap. I didn't notice. But the idea was right, but the entry was wrong, potentially. It's also very mean around here. Okay, let's go see another 9:30 a.m. Well, let's get another day. Let's get another day to play with in this general vicinity. Okay, so this is the 25th of June. It's going to, so we're relatively bullish. 15th, let's click here. And let's do that. Okay, it's 15 minutes. So we're bullish. And let's take a look. So London has already been knocked out. What time is this? Okay, so we're seeing the Judas swing already. So I wanted to watch it occur and then get in there. Okay, so London's taken. So the PM session high would be the buy side in this case. Where's my buy side? Right there. Would be the draw, I would think. And then the PM session low is sell side in this scenario if they're going anywhere else. Sell side. Okay. Because they've dug deep into London's. Oh, and they dug deep into London's sell side here. So it's into 5 minutes. And let's just see where they are. So just from an order block perspective, this little last down candle is a bullish order block. Okay. Just so I'm aware. Also, I do believe this is a balanced price range. Something like that. Okay. Just not worry about that sort of thing right now. So we have the levels we're reaching for. So it's 840. We had a low, lower, low, shifted through. So technically, we also have a breaker here. This sort of looks a little, we have a bullish breaker right here. This looks a little familiar. Order block, breaker. So let's see. It's 925, 930. All right, so I'm gonna, okay, 940. Okay. All right, so 950. Okay, so 955. So we came into this. Now that's pretty, so they took that out. There's also this high for them to go for buy sidewise. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. It's been a prodigious run up. Highly doubt they're gonna come back down to this thing. So let's drop down to 1 minute and see what's up. Well, hold on. Where's the nearest fair value gap on this guy? Is this tiny thing right here? We have wicks, and then this bigger one down here as a discount. Just gonna note them just so I'm aware of them. And then we have this CE of this wick right here. So I'm just gonna eyeball that. It's gonna make it purple. Okay, so on to 1 minute. So now we've hit 10 o'clock. It's looking pretty bullish. So let's see what fair value gaps form. As a potential continuation, right? So we had a volume imbalance right here. So for this run, from here to here, we have an order block here and a big wick of that one. So maybe Maybe they'll want to come back down. Ah, I see. So from 10 o'clock, we have these two things. Hmm, maybe. Let's see. So what if I tried for an entry here with my stop below this order block? And let's maybe try, 40 ticks. Let's see, can we get that? It's above the halfway point, so let's see about that. You come back down some more. Looks like we're stalling here. Because if I'd taken it there, that's also potential. Still want to be below the order block. That. Let's see if we get another. Okay, so we came down, so I wanted to buy here. So just wait for the order block as you're going to come to it. Wait for the order block. A couple ticks below that thing and see how well we do here. Okay. Oof. This one. Sometimes when they're so close together, right? So my low here is my stop loss is 44.32.25. And the low of this can was, yes, I would have been stopped out. So let's flatten that. And let's adjust. So my entry was not below. Let's buy here. Let's see. Because this stop loss, stop below this order block. So be less of a stop right there. And let's see if that's was the best option. So on the 1 minute, we had a 1, 2, 3 drives, shift. Well, no, they took out that shift, so I'm still feeling semi-decent about it. Okay, so let's, 46 is here. Curious about the aiming thing. So we broke this, oops, keep doing that. So if I were to, so from here to here, 0.5's here. Did we get that high? Looks like I should have taken what I needed to take and be done. Yeah. So once we broke, my stop would have been moved because we're so close to the 40 ticks right there. My stop would have been here, so I would have been just flattened right there. But I have a new rule about okay, so let's oops, I didn't mean to take the market thingy off. Remember when I had all these indicators, y'all? So this is New York AM. So if I look on the 5 minute, it took the buy side out. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Out. And then they like roasted up like expected. So it's hard for me to the 0.5 of that wick. I forgot it. I should have noted it because I was thinking that might have been a draw as well and didn't see how they behaved around it. So they came to that. Wow. Okay. So it was like hanging out and things I missed on the 1 minute. Like there's a thing right here. Oh. And then this entry would have been good, but that's the sort of thing that I wouldn't even have noticed, honestly. Because my thing is like 3 drives up, shifted, left nothing, relative equal lows, rolled back up, almost 40 ticks, and then dropped. At that point, I probably would have moved it to 20 and been done. But this is just like one of those scenarios I'm still not the best at trying to figure out the um the draw, like the entry once it's already like running for everything. All right, let's go find another day. I'm just messing with the 9:30. We can't do the same day. Okay. All right. Let's test. Let's test this day. So it's still bullish. Let's grab this. Where is my AM session? Right here. Okay. So what do we have? So London is inconsequential. The PM high, um, the previous PM high was here. So it's New York PM high. The low is pretty far away. It's New York PM low. If we're bullish, like that's not even a potential. Um, but this low right here would be the next available low is like right about there. And do we have a fair value gap for them to dig into right here? See if they want to get down their discount. Obviously didn't, so we had a shift at 8:30 right here. So we have a bullish breaker, lower shift. I think it's the highest green candle. So right, that one to there. So a bullish breaker here, all inside of this fair value gap from 8:30. Okay, so let's drop down to a 5 minute. All right, so 9:30 came, and then we rose up, and we dropped, and so 10 a.m. is coming in here. My preference, given that we have this breaker and the fair value gap, is for a long at the top of the breaker. How long, how big, how wide of a stop would this need to be? Damn. So get it below this still bullish, right? So we have a fair value gap right here. So let me just adjust this one up. And this order block. So can we get down to 1 minute? Okay. So inside of this breaker, we have this guy, fair value gap. There's another order block down here. We tapped it and got repelled up. And there's this with that. So my preference, why is it always so wide? So my preference would be for it to tap the breaker, maybe even this. And then my stop is below it and go on up. That's my preference. Okay, so I'm gonna buy here. All right, so, silly, wait. There's an order block down here, so can I get it below the breaker? Ugh, that's a lot. Let's see. Would that save me? Ugh, okay. this order block was the one. Since it's still inside of the breaker, I should have been paying attention to. And I would not have been saved. That is 43.96, and the low of my stop was 43.96. Why every time? So maybe I need to go one tick below it. Is that what it is? Yeah. Oh my God. Look at that. Like one tick would have saved my stop there. Isn't that crazy? All right. So for the 10 o'clock though, like wait for it to come in here. Here's a fair value gap, right? So then the other entry would have been here, or attempt would have been here. And then my stop could be below that 17 ticks. Because it did come back in there and then repelled back up. All right, so hold on. Where's my 40 ticks? So my 40 ticks is right there. So I would be perfectly happy to get out there. The high that I'm expecting them to come back up into, or at least midpoint of this wick, is about there. So if I were to keep this as, since we're testing stuff up, my stop loss would be here. Actually, no, my stop loss would be at 20 ticks. I don't care. Because now we have this very clear delineation. So my stop would be right under here. And I would expect it to tap here and then continue up. If it wanted to go lower, then I would be very, very, very unwilling to hold. Okay. So given this nature, so where is 20 ticks in this thing? So 20 ticks is about here, right there. Okay. And we're rolling down. What's holding this up? This order block right here. Let's see. Okay, so my 20 ticks would have, the top of this order block, right? This fair value gap would have saved me. And looking for to see how they behave around this rejection block right there. So coming up on it and right. So that's a thing. Do they take it out? So did we get to 0.5 approximately? Yeah, so that would have been a good target right there. All right, so the way they take out these order blocks, man. This bigger one. Just 5 minutes. So they made their way halfway down this to pay attention um, to take out that guy. What a pain. Look at that. Just, did I miss? I did. I missed this. So many things that can knock you out, man. The volume imbalance. I missed the volume imbalance. I was right there that they could have tagged into. Okay, let's go for another one. Daily, scroll over that. Let's let's pick another day. Replay. So we did this day. Let's do this day. This day. 15 minutes. All right. And let's move this back. All right, so 44, we've dug up really high here. And the PM session, so that's already been taken, so let's look for sell side down here. New York PM low. Change this to like a blue, put it in the middle, and let's save that session low. Okay. And we can just make it not so it's more obvious. Okay. All right. Oh, and the London low hasn't been taken either. Just noticed that. So London low for sell side. We have these relative equals down here, but let's focus on the London low as a potential draw. So that's 5 minutes. Oh, wristy thingy. Okay. And so what do we have? We have a high, higher high shifted through, and 9:30 dropped. So I don't know if it's a Judah swing, but we do have on the 5 minute this bearish breaker. And let's zoom in further. Well, inside this bearish breaker, we also have this fair value gap. Okay. Buy side's up here. Looking for stuff down here. So if we can turn around, see if they're gonna come back up into this breaker. And let's make that the premium. And let's do a little calculations here from the top to the base. This puts it in a premium. And let's do a 4 minute fair value gap above it. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. Wait. 3 minutes. There's a fair value gap on 4 minute, but it's superseded on the 3 minutes. So it shouldn't be going back up there. 1 minute. Okay. So, and we have a bearish order block here. So my preference, if it's coming back up, is a short. You know, all of that. We have all of this to contend with. For premium, I'm looking for this with a stop above that. And we're aiming for the London low with a 40 tick, minimum return. So let's see if we get that. Might be asking for too much. There's an order block right here also, so you could stop here and drop. Okay, rolling in. So this fair value gap. So it's 10 o'clock. Okay. So the other option would have been to take it here with a stop above that. So I wouldn't have liked that. So maybe that would have made me feel better. But let's stick with the original and see if we get up there. Okay, so it's the 1 minute. We still don't have any. So 9:30 had us dropping. So we did have a shift here. No fair value gap. And we've tapped this fair value gap. So let's see. We're still inside of this order block right here. So the entry is here. So returning this is into support, then we should be okay with something like this. So let's sell as an example. It's a scenario where I don't wait. I mean, my stop is okay for now, but premium. Mm, this is looking more bullish than I like. So, yeah. So the 930 Judas swing, I definitely didn't do that right. Didn't do that right. So I was looking at this bearish breaker, but if I'm to consider the Judas swing as a thing, so 930 and we dropped, and then 10 o'clock came around, and this is the first fair value gap we got at 10 o'clock. So I'm feeling bearish. So if we'd taken an entry, the top of that fair value gap, the stop below it, like a couple ticks below it, then wait. No. Wait. Um, so we've obliterated this coming into that order block. Let's see, so my original desire for an entry for a short was here with a stop above here. So if that had happened, oh my goodness. So look at that, right? Because I was like, top of the breaker, this order block, thing below it, and then drop. And 40 ticks would have been had easily. So basically, I need to trust my analysis. So if I had done what I said I wanted to do right here, stop above this high, like a tick or so above it, nice, and then sold here. I just want to see and see if they take out these lows. There's a London low down here. 40 ticks. I'm just gonna note it right here. And this is just to make myself feel good, right? Like TP1, right? And then I'm really aiming for down here, the London low, right? So look at the lack of drawdown that I would have had to deal with on this, right? My take profit, beautiful, right there. Having come here, I would have set my stop at a minimum 20 ticks, wherever that is. So let's see, where's 20? Because I'm not leaving without that. That's at minimum. So my stop would be here. Or I would have just left with the 40 ticks per my new rules. But I do want to see if there's a fair value gap here. If it busts through it, then I'm wrong, and I would have been stopped out and taken my 20. So in my mind, I'm thinking keep my 40 and be done with it, right? So I'm just fun. But don't change your analysis. It was just okay. All right. So let's get another day. All right, let's replay. So let's do this Wednesday right here. So we know it's a down day, but that doesn't mean that because you know it's a down day that you'll be able to trade it. So let's go to New York PM session. All right, so what do we got? London's in the wind. New York's PM session's all the way up here. as I draw. The AM session's already been taken. So let's add that as buy side. Let's do a PM, the previous day's PM high. And let's make that blue in the middle. And oh, we gotta make it this is a brighter color and let's make it thicker. And save it as New York PM high. Let's say that one. Okay. Right. And that's already taken. So, and it's a down day. So let's drop down to a 5 minutes. Where are we? Let's go back up to the 15 minutes. First things first, where are we? Let me just note. So there's this down candle. So I'm just going to note that we are at the bullish order block base, which feels like it should continue down, going down, right? So let's just go bullish order block. All right, let's drop down to a 5 minute. All right, so what are we looking at? Okay, so London's in the wind, and this isn't showing my sessions. I guess 10 o'clock has to start. All right, so 9:30 came and we dropped. So we dropped, and now we're hanging out here. So 9:59. All right, so we had a nice drop at 9:30. We've continued on down, and now it's 10 o'clock. If it's a Judas swing, maybe we're going back up to take out these highs I'm in, or at least dig back into this. But it's 10 o'clock, so I'm going to take what's offered to me first. So if it's still a short, which it looks like it is, this fair value gap here, I'm going to set my stop above this here, and let's see where 40 ticks is at the moment, right there. So let's see. Okay, so we wicked into it there. So maybe I look at this on the 5 minutes, sorry. And so we dropped. So maybe I'm looking for longs, right? Let me try and remember that, right? Okay, try and remember that. So this is on the 1 minute, 10 o'clock. So let's look for some sort of significant shift, right? Okay, so first shift here into this order block. So if it's a Judas swing, then my long should be from here with a stop below here. And where's 40 ticks at minimum? It's 43. It's 40 ticks minimum right there. And that brings us into this premium fair value gap anyway. And that'll be good. Okay, so just ran and left me. So I wouldn't have been filled. The next one, if so then this would be potentially an evolving fair value gap. So let's see if that works. Just create a new one. And because now it looks like it's just gonna continue. So in terms of an evolving fair value gap, that's a big fat no. But let's see. We did have a significant shift here. This is at 9:30, but looking at it as a Judas swing. So still looking for something there to go up there. Is that what it's doing? It's the top of it. Let's zoom in. Because this one I'm definitely botching. I might be missing something. So the top of this, they haven't made it back to this thing yet. So for like, so they're just meandering around in here. Probably time distortion for it to continue dropping. Because if I were to think of it high, higher high shifted through, we'd have this breaker, this bearish breaker right there inside of this guy. So I've been, it dropped nicely from it there at 9:47. And then it's like time distortion, and here's just a whole bunch of crap. And then it continued on down. So what am I missing? So this one I just didn't understand at all. And the entry for this one would have to be if I'm bullish, I'm supposed to be bearish, right? If I'm wrong, and this is the shift, and that's my stop right there, there's a wick. Then entry, let's see, 40 ticks. Could I get it back up to that? Yeah. So then it's bearish because it dropped from here. It didn't take it out. So if I tried that, would have been stopped, and then this wouldn't have been like any kind of Judas swing. And this would have been the better play at the base of the breaker. Let's see. I'm gonna tap that one because I just didn't trust it. Did we get back to the base of the breaker right there? And the stop above the breaker, which would also be above what was this order block right there? Tick more above it. It's like 10 ticks, and 40 would have taken me there. Okay. But I would have had to deal with all this chop. It's gross. Probably looks disgusting on the 5-minute. Yep. Okay. All right, let's try another day. So I'm about hit or miss on most of this. All right, so let's grab another day. Let's grab another bearish day right here. And the only thing I'm going to note is this down here. Okay. Let's put a discount on that. Okay. And let's drop down to 15 minutes. So I'm just trying to understand the 9:30, 10 o'clock action. And let's do this. Okay. So what do we have in close proximity? The London high is still in play. So if it's bearish, then we should leave the London high and not come back up to it. And at 8:30 dropped, and 9:30 just consolidated. So if we're looking for shorts, wanted to come back up into the premium. So my general desire is for it to come back up right here. My stop above this order block like that. And then maybe dig into this thing, right? I don't know. We'll see. That's a lot. So 40 ticks, something like that. Let's jump up to the 5 minutes. And let's see what we're working with. on the 5 minute. So 8:30 dropped, 9:30, we're just hanging out inside of this time distortion. So high, higher high, shifted through. So we do have a bearish breaker right here. It's a bearish breaker right there. And it's a bearish day. There's an order block. Let's jump to the 1 minute. There's an order block. If we were to go all the way back up there. So in this breaker right now, we would be fighting through all of this to get to this. Wait, is there a fair value gap in there too? Yes, there's a tiny fair value gap right here. So that's my optimal area that I wanted. Them to come back up into, and then my stop above this, it's more palatable for me right there. And maybe this will give me an opportunity for a long back up to that point. Let's see. Can play both sides, right? All right, so let's see. So we dropped in here. We had a shift here, fair value gap here. See, so 10 o'clock comes around, and okay, so the very first opportunity is here. Let's stop below that. So that 14 ticks to right up to 40 ticks up there. All right, let's see if we can get away with that. Okay. So let's say we buy because I want to ride it up to the breaker. See if we get that. Okay. We're meandering around 250, I don't know. Okay, so one thing I should have noted myself here as it rolls back. Well, let's see. Let's trust the setup because it should be going up to this breaker. See, that's that desire that I generally have to get out, you know? If we keep meandering around 250, then I'll take what I have. If we don't bust past the next candle, I'm not. Yeah. So, let me just note this order block right here. So there's a bearish order block right here that it seems to be struggling around. Tiny fair value gap here. So if it breaks through this discount fair value gap, and I'm taking this this guy. So I'm taking this little level here to here. So it's at the 50% level. Yeah. So that's why when it likes to like hang out in that area here, it just makes me feel like I should get out, right? So I'm gonna flatten because I don't trust it. And yeah. So it's still meandering around in this spot. So taking the 200 would have been perfectly acceptable for me. And that's one of my new rules. Like if it's like meandering around a specific spot, take it, take your money, right? Take your money and go on about your business. Now it's still makes it up here. It's just gross. It's just mean. Look at it. It's just mean. But on the upside, my original entry here with stop below the thing would have served me quite well. At least for it to tap the breaker. 29 ticks. Now let's see if it bothers to go up to where I actually want a short entry from. Because it can just tap the base of the breaker and just drop. Now, it did this, shift, and then I bet you anything, now that we have this like shift here, this guy, let's get it above that. Now it's gonna run, right? And drop beautifully the way it doesn't drop for me, most times. Because look, where's the 40 ticks? Let's see. Let me drop back into this again and see. This should hold it down. Let's continue. So now we've got this wick right here, 25, 30 ticks hanging out. Still, at this point, I think my 40 ticks is perfectly in line. Well, 40 would have been there. So that once this shift happened, then stop above that, and beautiful. So 250, asking it to come all the way up here is a lot, I guess. All right, so let's come back down, let's test another one out. All right. All right, let's get another day. Oops. Let's try this day right here. What day is it? It's a Monday, okay? It's a Monday after we've dug into this daily fair value gap discount. So let's see how we, I should say reaching into it. So let's see how we do. All right, so London was still in the crosshairs. So they took out the London high. The low was still down here. That was available for sell side. This feels like they're just rebalancing this. They had this SIBI here and rolled up. Let's drop into the 5-minute. What am I actually? Because most times I'm missing something important when I. So let's see. We have this premium fair value gap. I tapped into. And this grouping of order blocks right here on the 15-minute. So let's note. So the base of this one's all the way down here. Let's see. So it's a bearish order block right there. Into the premium. Did we tap the body of it? No, let's go 50% of the wick approximately. What does it look like? Yeah. All right, let's drop down to a 5-minute. And we didn't take out these highs. Fair value gap up here. So let's see. So 9:30 rang up like a gong. Let's do this on the 5-minute, 10 o'clock trend. Let's drop to the 1-minute. And let's see. Looking for displacement. We're digging up in here. Okay. So if we're bullish, this is a Judas swing, but we're we've been bearish, right? So I'm gonna look for a short. We reached into a premium, so beautiful. It's a beautiful shift right here. And it's a higher high shifted through. So we have a bearish breaker right here with a fair value gap right here and this premium thingy up here. So for a short position, I'm a little leery. So technically I should be comfortable with something like this. I'm gonna drag it a little higher into the breaker and then do something like that. And then see if we can't get a 40 tick. Where's 40 ticks in this scenario? Just brings us into this guy right here at minimum. So let's see. Do we even get the opportunity? So now this guy is where I would have wanted it, but I'm testing something here. Okay, yeah, they're coming up. All right. So let's say I go short here. My stop is up there. Okay. That order block being so close. See how it deals with that wick. Using this as support. Okay. Fairway gap right here. Oh, you know what? I just recognized this is the one that he took the ICT to the short from with a stop above here. And I wanted the entry from all the way up here. And I messed up and got stopped out too early. I think sell side's all the way down here, but you know, I would have gotten my stuff in here nicely and flattened and been okay with that. Given my nature, I need to learn to walk before I run, right? Yeah, so that's what really messed me up. And I think I was looking at this on the seconds chart, and I didn't, I saw it hanging out at the halfway point in here, respecting that. So here with a thing above here, beautiful, beautiful. And it's going down more, I believe. Yeah, to the order block at minimum. Propulsion block, order block. And that would have been 57, whatever. Okay, let's get another day. Trying to see if I can read it without it needing to be, without the bias needing to be super, super, super duper clear. Are we digging down now? Okay. All right, so next looks like they're aiming for down here. Okay, so let's do that. Sorry, haha. Okay, so let's pick another day to play with. Let's pick one of these sideways days. Okay, it's 15 minute. Let's do this. Okay. So in this scenario, all of this is gone. This is the only high that's available. A lunch from a few days back on Monday. It's the Monday high. Okay. And the London low is still in play here. So sell side. That one right there. So we've taken this out. The most recent previous day's highs have been taken out. And then buy side for me is all the way up here. Okay. All right, so let's drop down to a 5 minute and let's see what we're doing. So 9:30 came, we rallied, we're rallying up. So just want to see. So we've got 9:50 and 9:55, 10 o'clock. All right, so let's drop down to 1 minute. So it's been a bearish day, right? So we have shift here. No, well, there's a fair value gap right there. All right, so at 10 o'clock, what do we have juicy? There's a high, bearish breaker right here. So for a short, there's all of this to contend with too. The breaker stops here. So if I do this, put my stop above there and see where my 40 ticks hangs out. So we're gonna dig in, right? So if I were to sell here, okay, let's go. Okay. Okay. Should have taken the order block into consideration as well for an entry. So then the entry should have been there. That one wouldn't have made it there. Maybe the body of that would have been better. Yeah, the body would have been better. Okay. And then we gap down. Ta-da. Take some lows out. This guy, let's see if it holds it up. Oof. There's another one here. It's another break. Sort of gross capping in here. And then right there would have gotten 40 ticks. Okay. And flatten. Now, okay, so the body was of the breaker was better for the entry. Fair value gap didn't need to be 15, just above that one. 8. Okay. Let's get another day. Learning a lot here. Move that. Okay. All right, so we got this sideways day. Let's get this one. The next day after that. Let's go to 15 minute and let's do that. And let's bring up. Okay, so they've taken the London low out. It must have been some news event with that wick. Okay, and it's 9:45, so it's going to stay 5 minutes. So we've taken the lows out. And we've been bearish this whole time, so let's see. What the lows are already taken, so can go back up. So it's the 5 minutes. So I'm gonna drop in 1 minute now and see what 10 o'clock has for us. So we have this shift, and a reasonable person would take a short from here, right? But we also had this low, lower low shifted through. So we do have a bullish breaker down here as well. And I don't know if we've dug into something important either. So we've got a bullish breaker right there, body-wise. And there's a fair value gap down here. So it's a discount right here. So let's see the behavior. It's 10 o'clock, right? And we're respecting this order block for now. So Okay, so 10 o'clock comes and we've decided to be more bullish. And it's the first fair value gap that forms. So if I follow then my long should be here with a stop below here. And continue this way. So let's see. All right. So buy here. All right. So we trust this. Okay. All right, so we haven't delineated 40 ticks about that. Okay. Okay. Up. Okay. Wicking, doing some damage. And, so we're halfway to what I want as my thing. So my stop would be moved up to about there. And let's look to the right here and see if there's anything juicy that might be stopping me. Coming up on this New York lunch high. Oh, I didn't note the PM high right here. Should have been set that as buy side. New York PM high. Okay, so before I close anything, I want to see how it behaves around here. This order box right here. Body's respecting it, taking it out. So I would flatten here and just take that and be done with it. I don't trust it. And I would have missed out, but it is what it is. Now, digging in, how far did that dig into? About halfway. So maybe sometimes I can, instead of being at the very top of it, I can go a little like so, halfway through to it, and then continue on up. Anyway, all right. It's about 8 o'clock. Oh, I'm gonna stop now. It's a pretty long one. So still a long way to go, but I gotta get comfortable with adjusting my stop and to the correct places. And so far, it's looking good. Anyway, so happy trading. Be safe. Shakira out.